So in my last video about MrBeast, I broke down the failure of MrBeast Burger and talked about how that company ended up costing MrBeast millions of dollars. And with the huge downfall of MrBeast Burger, MrBeast stated that he wanted to dedicate all his time and energy into his new snack company, Feastables. But as time passes, it's starting to look like this Feastable snack company can end up going down the same path as MrBeast Burger. But what exactly is really happening with Feastables? Well, that's what we're here to talk about today. That's what you're here to find out. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to press the subscribe button to join the trap house with the biggest trapper and help me on my path to 1,000 subscribers. And while you're at it, don't forget to click the very first link down below in the description to join my official Discord server and become an official member of the community. And with all of that being said, let's get into the real reason why Feastables did an entire rebrand. And MrBeast would officially launch the original Feastables brand back in January of 2022. And since then, for the past 2 years, this company has had a lot of success. From having his Feastables bars sold in every Walmart in the country, to even partnering up with big name franchises like NBA teams such as the Charlotte Hornets to help the promotion of the Feastables brand. I mean, for 2 years, it was looking like MrBeast could have been a direct competitor for Willy Wonka himself. But over the past few months, MrBeast and the Feastables brand have started facing some pretty moderate problems. You see, back when MrBeast originally launched Feastables, he released 3 different flavors of chocolate bars, which were flavored almond, quinoa crunch, and original, which ended up being a massive success story. And as time went on, he just continuously expanded the brand to even selling different candies like gummies and snacks like cookies. And similar to MrBeast Burger, each member of MrBeast's team had their own different type of candy that they were selling. But a year ago, back in February of 2023, MrBeast will release a peanut butter flavored chocolate bar which had the name Deez nuts. And of course, with it being like a peanut butter flavor, he wanted to have a funny way of marketing it, which is why he named it Deez nuts. And honestly, it worked because the only MrBeast Feastables bar that I've ever had was the Deez nuts peanut butter bar. Not because it had like anything to do with nuts or anything, just because it was actually the most appealing flavor.
What do you mean by that?
But the release of the Deez Nuts bar would end up being the beginning of the end for the Feastable brand as we once knew it. You see, just 6 months after the release of the Deez Nuts bar, another company that was located in Jacksonville, Florida named Deez Nuts wanted to sue MrBeast for the use of the name Deez Nuts. Now, I know that sounds confusing, but you can see why this became an actual lawsuit. You see, the company in Florida, which was named Deez Nuts, felt like MrBeast was engaging in copyright infringement for his use of the term Deez Nuts, which was spelled Deez. Now, as you can see, these were 2 very minor differences in the company that was merely only separated between a apostrophe and a S and just a straight up Z after the E. That's the only thing that separated these 2 names. And get this, the company that was based in Florida that was suing MrBeast wasn't even a chocolate company. They sold actual tin cans of flavored peanuts. Whereas MrBeast and his Feastables company was only selling a peanut butter flavored chocolate bar. And right now you're probably thinking, oh well, they weren't even a chocolate company and it's not even spelled the same, it just sounds the same. But MrBeast had a Z instead of an apostrophe S. Well, that's not necessarily true at all. We all know copyright laws vary and it's really a gray area between what's right and what's wrong. And in most cases, people think, oh well, as long as I change this one little thing, it's not copyright because it's not copying the exact original thing. And that's also what I thought back in school when I was copying off my friend's homework and we ended up both getting zeros. So after that point, that's when I learned that if it's anywhere near the original thing, it can easily be deemed as copyright. And that's exactly how the Deez Nuts company ended up suing Feastables. You see, the original lawsuit stated Feastables Inc. has used and continue to use the Deez Nuts registered trademark or a confusingly similar or phonetically equivalent thereof. Meaning, okay, well, MrBeast isn't using the actual DEE apostrophe S, but if you say the words, they sound exactly the same way, and that can cause some confusion between the 2 brands. But MrBeast and his lawyers argue back by saying that millions of people on the internet have been using the phrase Deez Nuts in a humorous way for years. They argue that the term Deez Nuts was an irrelevant way to interject humor or sarcasm or to end a conversation. And honestly, his lawyers weren't wrong because the term Deez Nuts has been around for years, ever since that video went viral on the internet of the then famous Instagram comedian Welvin being on the phone saying something came in the mail today.
Did something come in the mail today? Oh, Cause some came in the mail today.
Yeah, I did.
These nuts. Got him! Got him!
And I'm sure that's a video that most of you have probably seen if you've been on the internet for a long time. And after a long 3-month court battle, in December of 2023, a judge approved a permanent injunction between the two companies, ruling that the brand Feastables can no longer use the term Deez nuts to sell its product. And according to the reports, some of the court documents even stated that the Feastables company itself agreed that the names were confusingly similar. And with the judge ruling that Feastables could no longer use the phrase Deez nuts, that's what sparked the entire rebrand of the company. You see, MrBeast didn't want to just take the Deez nuts bar off shelves or just change the name with the same branding and things like that. He wanted to completely rebrand the entire company and come back better than they ever were. So in February of 2024, MrBeast officially revealed the quote-unquote new and improved Feastables chocolate bars. And the branding on these chocolate bars looked completely different from what we've seen prior. And with the new branding also came a quote-unquote new and improved formula. And these new formulas included flavors like milk chocolate, which was basically the original milk chocolate crunch, almond, dark chocolate sea salt. And here's where things became very interesting, because MrBeast released a peanut butter bar and a peanut butter crunch bar. Now, I haven't had any of these bars or watched any reviews on these peanut butter bars, but I would be 99.9% sure that these quote-unquote new and improved MrBeast peanut butter bars were literally the same thing as the Deez nuts bar. I mean, the judge never said they had to change the recipe. They just had to change the name of the bar. But if you've been watching MrBeast long enough, you know that anything he does, he has to do big. So he didn't just change the name of the bar, but he changed the entire brand as a whole. And as of right now, we don't have any more details about the court case, and MrBeast hasn't publicly speaking on the court case yet at all. So we don't know if any money or anything like that was involved in the lawsuit. All we know is that the company based in Jacksonville named Deez Nuts, that's D-E-E-S, won the lawsuit, which stopped MrBeast from using the term Deez Nuts for his peanut butter flavored chocolate bars. And you guys know I value all of your opinions, so let me know down below in the comments about what you think of this entire lawsuit. Do you think it was a fair lawsuit? Have you had the new MrBeast bars? Do you like MrBeast bars in general? I told y'all I only had one, which was the actual Deez Nuts chocolate bar. So maybe I'll go try the peanut butter bar to see if they taste the same. But if you're new to the channel, don't forget to press that subscribe button to join the travels with the biggest trapper. To join me on my journey of surpassing 1,000 subscribers, man. And if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Any feedback is good feedback to me. As always, I appreciate all the love and support. And I'll catch y'all boys and girls in the next banger, man.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.